viewers, welcome back. To you new people, I am Kevin L. Kelly, and you are watching Kevin L. Kelly Food Review. I've got something pretty neat in store for you. It's something the whole family can take part in, even the kids. It is a honeycomb pasta pie. All right, sounds pretty interesting. It came out great. Let me show you how I did it. Gonna chop up some onions for you. Okay, first thing I'm gonna want to do is add a bit of olive oil. I'm gonna add half of the ground beef. Go ahead and kind of break it up a little bit, speed things up. Now this is about a pound of just regular ground beef. I'm going to get that started for you. I'm going to be adding minced garlic, onions, salt, pepper, and some oregano. And this is going to be for my meat sauce. Alright, I'm actually going to go ahead and add in my onions so I can get those cooked up. I've got about 1 cup of onions. I'm going to add the garlic, about 2 tablespoons of garlic. I'm going to hold off on the salt and pepper and the oregano, because I'm going to have to drain the grease out of this. So, alright. I'm going to cook this out, and I'm actually going to cook the other pound of hamburger meat. So I will see you when I get that done. Okay, once I have cooked and drained the grease and the excess water, I will put the hamburger meat back in. Okay, now I want you to notice the hamburger meat, it's finely chopped up, because you're going to want to have a very even layer, so you don't want really big chunks of hamburger meat. And this is the point where we're going to add our garlic powder, okay, onion powder, right. Gonna add our pepper, gonna add Italian seasoning. Alright, I'm gonna give that a stir. I'm not worried about moisture because I'm gonna add a sauce to it. I did not make a homemade sauce. I've got a high quality sauce, spaghetti sauce. Pasta sauce that I will show you a little later in the video. Alright, I'm pretty happy with that, so I'm going to set this to the side, and I'm going to get my noodles going for the honeycomb pasta pie. Stick around, let me show you how to do it. Alright, I have got my water started here to get the pasta ready. What I'm going to do is add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Alright, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of salt. Okay, this is what I'm using. This is what's going to make my honeycomb pasta pie. It's really a good thing to see. It's fun. You know, the whole family can make this. Either husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, include the kids. It's very easy, and it's very rewarding in the end. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and dump these in. And you want to pay attention to this. You want to cook them al dente. You don't want them soft and squishy. You want to keep them moving. And pretty much what you want to do is make sure they keep their shape. They will finish cooking in the oven when I put all this together. Very important to keep it moving around. You definitely do not want it to stick. And you definitely want to use a pan that's large enough to give that pasta room to move when it starts coming to a boil. You do not want to crowd it. Alright, my pasta's done, and what I have done is drain it and rinse it. You definitely want to get the starch off, and you want it to stay firm. When I say al dente, you want it to stay firm because we're going to fill these up with cheese. Okay, they're going to be sitting upright in a spring pan, and we're going to fill them with cheese and sauce and meat and more cheese. Alright, let me show you how to do it. Alright, you might want to dust these. I've just got a store-bought Parmesan cheese, and I'm going to get them pretty well coated. That's going to add a lot of flavor for us. This is optional. I like it. Like I said, the flavor is great. It just adds a little more to what you're cooking. Okay. All right. Next thing we're going to want to do is take the spring pan, and I'm setting it on a tray here because these things do leak. There's a lot of liquid, so I really don't want to make a mess in the oven. So anyway, I got it on a pan here. First thing we're going to want to do is put a little bit of sauce. Now, as I mentioned before, this is not a homemade sauce. I picked out what I thought was the best sauce that I like the flavor of, and well, I'm using it. Now, if you want to take the time to do your own sauce, I mean, that'd be great. But otherwise, I'm sure you have a flavor or a brand that you like. Okay, see I'm doing this? Looks a lot easier, doesn't it? Alright. Whole point, we want to get us a nice layer down the bottom. Okay, as I showed you before, here they are. Now we're going to take these. This is where it takes a little time. We're going to take these and actually stand each one up. Now this is where the kids could come in helping out, or just take the time and do it yourself. You get the idea. We're going to go around the outside and then of course do another ring until it closes in, and that's where you get your honeycomb for, you know, honeycomb pasta pie. Alright, I'm going to get busy on this, and I will see you here in a minute. Okay, this is pretty much what we're going to come up with. You're going to want to make it tight. Again, tight so they stand up straight. If you have any leftover pasta, just try to fit it in. Now we're going to fill these with cheese, not all of them, and then we're going to pour sauce over the top. Alright, let me show you how to do that. Alright, this is what we got now. As you've seen in the pictures in the beginning of the video, it's a string cheese, mozzarella. We're going to take that and we're going to cut it in fours. Okay, take your time, because what we wanted to do is to fit inside of the noodle. Okay, so I've got about 6, maybe 7 pieces here. We're going to cut it in fours, and then what we're going to do is cut it about the same size as a noodle. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so that's pretty it. So that comes out. one more for you. Cut it in 4s. And something you might want to do, make sure it's cold. It's a lot easier to work with. So don't take it out and leave it on the counter for half an hour, 45 minutes, because it's really hard to work with. So you want to get it, you know, so it's easy to work with. All right, there we go. See you in a minute. All right, now that I've got my string cheese cut up, as you can see here, we're just pretty much going to want to go and place it just like that. Very simple, very fun. Just make sure you cut it so it fits in there. So you really don't have to fill every noodle, but you do want to get it spread around. It's kind of consistent. Drop it in there. Once we get done with that, with this, we're going to actually put over the sauce and the meat that I cooked. Remember the hamburger meat, the garlic, onions, and so forth. We're going to mix that together. And what's going to happen is it's going to drain down in a lot of these inside of it. Man, it's going to be really good. Imagine that cheese melting. All right, you see where I'm going with this? So I'm going to finish this up and get back to you. All right, thank you. Okay, my next step is to put on the sauce. Now see pretty much how I've got everyone filled up. It's going to be very cheesy, which I like. All right, so let's get this spoon on there, and you want to kind of work it into the openings there. Once it heats up, it's going to drip down in there. The cheese is going to melt. Put a little more. It's coming out pretty good. Take it all the way to the edges. Try not to make such a big mess. Okay. My next step is going to be, remember the meat, garlic, onions. Okay. Guys, you're going to want this even, because we want it to cook even. We want the cheese that I'm going to put on in the end here. It needs browned up. And the cheese is what's going to hold this thing together. Looking pretty good. Looking good. All right, my next step. Now that's the reason that this hamburger meat is minced up so fine. So I don't want large chunks. It's just not gonna cook even. It's not gonna brown up even. Okay, I'm kind of packing it there because this is it's very dense. Again, when we get done with this, we want it to be a freestanding honeycomb pasta pie. I don't know who came up with that name, but I could see why, because of the honeycomb look with the pasta in there. All right, everyone's favorite part. Look at this. That's some nice cheese. Okay, I'm gonna sprinkle the baby around. All right. Get this finished up here, and I'll be right back with you. All right, this is pretty much what I ended up with here. It's pretty even. Now I'm going to get this in the oven at 400 degrees for about 18 minutes. All right. Alright, welcome back. So this has been in the oven for about 22 minutes. I like the color, that's the way it should look. So I'm going to let it stand or sit for about 10 minutes, 10 to 12 minutes, so everything firms up. Alright, I'm back. This has been in the oven about 25 minutes. You have to let it cool down. Things shrink back in, okay? You don't want to open the spring pan just right out of the oven. So we're going to see how I did. Oh, how you like me now? So check that out. I'm going to spin the pan. You remember in the video building it, it's very important to pack it tight. Very tight, again, so it's freestanding, and that's what we have. All right, now this is kind of a harder, as you can see. Let's see if we can cut into it. I don't think there's a really delicate way to do this, so I'm just gonna dig in. Okay. You don't have to be forceful. No one's in a hurry. So, and I try to line it up, say with something out here, because these are going to be freestanding, so I don't want to cut one in half. So, again, we're going to all right. Let's just kind of take your time with it. See how it comes out. Now, I don't expect this to stand freely. We'll see what. Oh, sweet. I'll take that. I'll take it, guys. Nice, steamy.